Hello, beautifuls. It's Charlotte here with Dragonfly Soul Healing. So I'm just popping on, playing with my new cards some more, and I just wanted to pull some cards and see what kind of wanted to come out right now. The energy's been really interesting this last few days for sure. Today feels even different. It's been raining a lot here, so it's like this purge, this cleanse happening. This world card that came out first to start this reading off is literally like this portal, but you see these chunks of earth that are like breaking apart. Interesting, me and my friend were just talking kind of about earthquakes and landslides and floods and stuff like this coming up, and this world card feels like there's a chunk being kind of ripped out of our lives in a sense. Right? There's this energy of, but it's not just you, or it might not be even happening to you. You might be watching it happen around you as well. But what's happening is the earth itself is starting to deconstruct in some ways to kind of shift the narrative. This is the important thing. I want to read from the book from this one because I kind of like reading from the book with these new decks because they're not like your traditional tarot, which I love. Okay, so the world says full circle, completion, fulfillment, accomplishment. From a surge of stardust and heat, the world is born in the void. Although the world signifies the completion of a journey, project, or cycle, it also holds the promise of new beginnings. The four signs in the corners, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio, are symbolic of the four elements, as well as the cycle of seasons. The world's presence in a reading often heralds the end of a long, arduous process. So let this be a sign that closure is near. Take time to reflect on all that was lost, gained, learned, and created during this period of your life. So it's like there's a lot of things coming full circle, right? And being released. And that's kind of what this release is about too, right? Where we're pulling some stuff out of our field. Okay, so the moon card comes out as well. And we do have a full moon coming up here shortly. And it is a super moon as well. So it's as close to the earth it gets. So really interesting how that energy is pulling in that energy from the moon. But again, we've got this like moon and earth, this pulling dynamic. And it's interesting, this King of Swords came out in the last reading, one of the pick-a cards. And so there's this energy with that moon really pulling forth truths. So much truth coming to the surface, it feels like, is really what's happening even with the earth, right? So even with that earth shifting and changing and evolving, it's one of those things where those truths are coming to the surface on what needs balancing. This King of Swords has this energy of, well, I mean, we're really guarded in this, right? And the swords are communication. So it feels like there's some communication that's not being heard or seen the way we want it to. It's interesting, the bottom of the deck, this card came out for me when I was pulling cards, the 10 of Cups here. But as you can see, there's this couple here. They're both blindfolded. He's missing an arm. We've been in this mess and we have this octopus kind of surrounding us. And so here's that miscommunication, right? It's like we can't hardly communicate when we're in this place. And so it feels like we've been lost and blindfolded a lot. We got a lot of blues here. You notice that? A lot of blue energy in this. So again, really communication, but something real deep with the emotions as well, being deep into the ocean. So some things left unsaid in emotional stances, or these truths coming to the surface to kind of help evolve this situation. But it feels like, I mean, even think about the fact that it's been raining here so much, and we have a lot of rain energy coming up in this next little while, right? Because that earth is trying to cleansing itself from this, right? How can we get more open, get more clarity? That's what this girl's doing here too. It's like, how do we get more clarity? How do we keep evolving to get through this truth that this energy is hiding, or in avoidance of even? Okay, let's see what else wants to come forth. The Ten of Swords. Look at this whale. And again, like, we're getting swords, cups, major arcanas, doesn't matter what comes forth. We're just getting all of this blue energy. This is crazy. I wonder if no, I set this up just right, so maybe I shouldn't. Don't mess with the system. Not good. Not good you mess with that system. Okay. So, Ten of Swords, really coming to this ending. So we've got this Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords, the world, right? It's like we've got this truth coming up with the moon really pulling things, especially the water, right? A lot of movement with that water. Deconstructing. Now that we've come full circle, we're going to deconstruct this. Interesting, we have the Tower card also come out. Here we got a full moon back there, as well as a whole bunch of doves. And I didn't have doves today, but a lot of seagulls, like crazy amounts, were circling. Rose and I were doing a bunch of work, and they just, like, you know, as soon as we seen them, there was only about 3 of them circling this one spot. So we kind of just focused our energy there, and we were moving a bunch of stuff. And it was like every time I looked up, there was another damn seagull flying over my head, like whoop, over to this spot that we were working on. And all of a sudden, there probably was about 60 seagulls flying up there. And as we were kind of finishing everything that we were doing, those seagulls all at once just like turned around and flew over back to the lake. And so it was the most fascinating thing, but it was very similar to this, you know, like actually where it was above like City Hall. And we've seen it it was from a distance that we were like witnessing this and watching it happen. But as soon as we finished doing that work, kind of bringing those truths to a surface in a sense, deconstructing those foundations, that's what that tower is. It's like now it's pouring rain. Those seagulls flew back off to the ocean, the lake. Some ocean vibes though. I've been really feeling called to that ocean. And look at this, crazy. It's like everything that I'm pulling ties to water somewhere, except for a couple, but even this, and didn't we have an octopus? Yeah, oh my goodness. And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to put it over top of this because, like, what is happening here? 3 10s. So really just like the 10s are kind of that end, right? That ending to go back to the beginning, or, you know, that fresh start, these things. So we're kind of, you know, we're in this whale energy where those swords aren't hurting us the way that these people thought they were going to. Right? And because of that, look at what we have, the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups coming out. And this is the 6 of the 6 of Cups as well. But it is literally another whale. Interesting. And the 6 of Swords at the bottom of the deck as well. So again, water moving away. This is kind of how it looks in BC today, like kind of that foggy, rainy energy, leaving those swords behind. moving forward to this happiness, to this completion of a cycle, right? There's going to be some need to rest after this. So that's a big thing lately. Lots of sleeping. I'm not the only one. I've been like literally every fucking chance I had to nap this last few days, like literally 20 minutes before I had to run to do another circle or something like that, sessions, whatever. It was like power nap and just get up and do what I needed to do to come home to sleep again. This was happening for the last few days here. And so if that's happening with you, there's a reason you're being asked to. We had Leo come up in that world card, and we also have these cats. So we've got some, possible Lyran energy coming forth as well. So lots of big things, and look at how we kind of stay in this energy, even with this 6 of swords, until we get to this like nourished self. This is like that sacral chakra energy, really resetting and allowing that creativity to come in and shift through that rest state. That was a lot of shit in those cards. So there's a lot of big things taking place right now. And, let's kind of go back to these 10s here. How we have all these shifts, but these 10s with the world, right? That energy feels heavy with all those emotional, throat, speaking, communication energies. But there's also this embrace where it's like you come together into a new period. So just take that time right now to really rest, right? Give yourself that time you need. So I'm going to leave it here. I actually want to pull one from this one. I lied. This one wants to pull a card here as well. So we're going to pull one. This is that Gateway of Light, I believe it is called. And it's so magical. The Stellar Gateway Activation. Infinite Potential Manifestation Vortex. So some pyramid codes. Maybe taking a meditative journey through that portal for yourself and allowing these activations to come through. Is there some codes that you require from those Egyptian times that are ready to be cleared, to be activated, to be healed? The ancestral line. We got that throat stuff again. We almost did a whole video without it, so that's a good sign, right? We're at that 10, guys. So we're getting close to letting go. Lots of stuff in the neck too. Like feels like some collars that are ready to come off in a sense. And so I'm just gonna move. Some of this stuff's pretty deep. So I've been kind of tapping into this neck stuff, but I also hold these codes, so I feel like we're just getting parts of it right now, because I hold it and I haven't fully pulled it apart in myself yet. However, with each day that goes by, different people we come in contact with, whatever it is, we start getting all the codes for all these things, so it's nothing to really concern yourself about. Okay, so we also have the ancestral realm. Karmic release, healing the lineage, boundaries. Now I did, for the second circle that I did this week, we tapped into that ancestral realm and really helped everybody tap into those Akashics through those ancestral patterns and pull as much of it out as possible. And so we get really focused on like wanting to know what happened back then, because all I'm seeing is like that outlander energy, right? wanting to step through that portal and know what happened in that past life and all this stuff, but we have to recognize that we have thousands of past lives. Okay? And, maybe that's not an accurate number, but there's a lot, right? We've been here for a long fucking time, not this 2,000 years. And so if you think about that and how the dynamics have changed and evolved over just even the 2,000 years that we know about, how many Akashic records we have stored. Yes, going back in one past life might be fascinating to get a story, and it's great and all. And then I'm like, okay, so what are you doing to really, how do we clear this up so all this ancestral shit can dissipate and really start activating that Kundalini properly? Getting to a place where we're out of this to get that reunion energy back in, to get that connection. We have to have arms chopped off. We're blindfolded, so we can only trust by energies, but we also have an octopus kind of holding us down from even spreading our wings, right? The Ten of Cups is a really beautiful card, yet there's also this energy of there's still things in this, right, that aren't super great for what's supposed to be a Ten of Cups. Why? Ancestral shit. Those Akashics that aren't really even yours, they're Akashics that you brought in to have those data sets to make sure that you knew what you were doing, mission, what are we here to clear, right? What did mom and dad teach us? What codexes did they have? If you didn't have a parent in your life, okay, what was the purpose of choosing a parent that wasn't there, with that abandonment, rejection, whatever it is? There's a purpose so that you could get on mission and on target, but it's not meant to be your story. And so this is going to become really important as you move forward, because if you want to hang on to them damn stories, guess what? You're going to get bit. Why? Because they're not your stories to play anymore. The longer we stay in those stories, the more we plug into the religions and the education systems and the medical systems and the law and the government and the this and the that's and all the fucking things, guys. The deeper we get plugged into those things and our Akashic stories, the harder it is to get away from this. Every time you try and pick up one of these swords that's not meant for you, it was here to show you something, but didn't you learn from it yet? And if you still need to repeat that cycle and you need to go back and grab one of them swords and get bit again, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what if you just chose to fly instead? Right? Letting go. Flying into that brightness so that we can shift those narratives. How do you do that? Start changing the way you see your story. Getting more knowledge on how to move that energy, how to clear those Akashics, how to, just start doing different things. Take pendulum course, right? That gives you all kinds of tools on how to emotional release, how to clear your body, your house, your car, your best friend, how to close portals. There's all kinds of crazy shit in that could get you in that path where we don't have to go back to this all the time, because we can start just clearing that shit, moving that energy, evolving, stepping into our power, hopping on our witch broom and taking off, starting over, whatever has to happen, right? Okay, I'm gonna leave it there now. All right, so if you guys have any questions or anything like that, don't be afraid to reach out. I'm going to leave a link for my services and my sessions. So if you want to book a session with me, there'll be that. And also my pendulum course as well. You know what? It's an amazing course, and I've got quite a bit of great feedback from it already. And so get on it, if you're looking for something to kind of shift your perspective and move forward, right? Check it out. All right, so I will leave you with that, and I will chat with you all soon. Take care.